Hey guys, what's up? Tim Queen here, and today we're going to talk about LinkedIn groups. Are there any good or are there any better alternatives, and how can you use them for your business to grow an audience or a loyal fan base? So recently I did a little poll about LinkedIn groups on my profile. Now here are the results. We asked, how do you see LinkedIn groups? And 49% said mostly self-promotional spam. 34% said very mixed results. Then we had 14% who said great content and discussions. And then 3% had some other opinion. That means only 14% had a positive experience with LinkedIn groups. And over 83% had very mixed results or perceive LinkedIn groups generally as self-promotional spam. And there is a good reason for that. Most groups technically have no moderation. So what happens is a lot of spammers come to those groups. They actually have even automation tools to automatically join different LinkedIn groups and then just automatically posting spam content in them. So the ratio of people writing actually original content for LinkedIn groups is almost zero. Like there are very few groups that work at all, have any form of community, and that only because you have people dedicated to spending the afternoon and evenings to content moderation, to making sure that no spam post is being posted there, that comments are moderated, that no one can leave spammy comments, that people getting kicked out, or only very few selected people are allowed to join. Most groups don't have any form of moderation, so anyone can join, anyone can post, and then you're just getting like those spam boards over and over again. The other problem with LinkedIn groups is that you don't own any of the data. So there is no way for you to extract or export a list of all the members and then taking the data and moving to a different platform. Once you spend the time building a LinkedIn group, it's basically set in stone. You can't take them with you. So you can only work with what you have. And if your group is not very engaged, chances are very high that your content will not be picked up by the LinkedIn algorithm. So even if you have a few thousand members, you will probably only reach like 10, 20, 30. And that's really, really sad because you spend all this time creating the group and then later at some point, the algorithm changes. You can't do anything about it. You can't get people out of the group because you're not getting the organic reach in the group anymore. You don't have the ability to export anything. Now, if you have a group, this is like a topic for another day, how to get your data out. But for people considering if they should start a group, don't. Now, first, let's talk about some of the bad alternatives. You might think Facebook groups might be a better idea, but they are even worse when it comes to organic reach. I recently checked out my Facebook account and I was looking at how many groups did I actually join over the years. And it was incredible. I had like, I don't know, 50 groups inside. I was like, how is it that I have joined that many groups, but I didn't see a single group post for the last year or so? Like, except like 2 or 3 groups, which I actually visit frequently. And it turns out that's all due to the algorithm. If you don't visit a group on your own accord, meaning you're going on Facebook and you're typing in the name of the group and you're visiting it and you're spending some time with it, scrolling through the posts, reading comments, liking, commenting, sharing. If you don't do that, Facebook will just eliminate your group from the newsfeed altogether. You will not show up even if you have engaged posts. It's basically that until the point that someone by his or her own accord starts looking for the group and rejoins the group, meaning goes to the search bar, opens up the group and manually looks at posts. If they don't do this, it will never be shown to them again. And I know some people who had built Facebook groups with thousands of members and now they're basically getting no views at all anymore. So all of this time is wasted. You also can't export your data. So it's really not a good deal. Now then we have those phone groups, like we have Telegram groups, WhatsApp groups, maybe also Signal groups. The problem here is you have some form of communication with the person directly, like the phone number, but it's also quite challenging to automate, to have a system where you can send out newsletters or can send notification when something is happening. So you're kind of also relying on someone else's platform, that they keep this platform alive, that they don't make any changes. So overall, I wouldn't recommend them if you want to do something on a larger scale. Then we have Slack and Discord, similar idea. It's quite difficult to get the contact information out unless you own the Slack group, in which case you can do that, but you're limited in terms of growth, because once you reach a certain point, Slack demands basically payment to keep your channel alive, if you want to have more messages. Then with Discord, you don't have access to the people's email addresses. So again, there's always like a downside. And again, you could also go to Meetupcom, one of the oldest ones on the block, and you don't get anyone's contact information. You don't even get their real name. People can put whatever name they want into the meetup, and you cannot export anything. And then some people might think, hey, maybe I can start a Reddit, but yeah, you don't get anyone's contact information. Anyone can choose pseudonyms. So there is no way to working with that or to automate this. So in my opinion, all of those choices are bad. The best choices probably would be some of the phone groups like Telegram, WhatsApp, or Signal groups, because there you have at least the phone number and could do something with that. But it's also like a costly manner. If you want to move to a different platform, you basically have to text people one by one and make sure that they get the memo. Now let's look at some of the better alternatives. A personal brand on LinkedIn is completely free. Anyone can create a LinkedIn account, and with your LinkedIn account, you get a personal profile. And when you share content on your personal profile, you get a huge organic reach. You can reach so many different people. And the best part is, the post visibility is not limited to LinkedIn group members. When you post content on your profile, it can be shown to anyone around the world. And if you carefully craft your post to get more organic reach, you're structuring your post, you have a strong hook, you are using copywriting techniques to keep people engaged, and using the right hashtags, and have generally a really good content strategy, it's really easy to get more of the same people. So you can build an audience around a specific niche topic. And that's very powerful. What I would recommend to really narrow down your niche and very selectively building your audience on LinkedIn. You don't want to go broad. You don't want to have any random topics that appeal to anyone. You really want to have niche specific content that is only relevant for potential customers. And then you will see you get more and more of those. And if someone of them likes your comment or comments on your post, it will be shown to some people in their network. And if they are similar to the potential customer, you grow your network, people starting following you, and it's a very powerful platform. So if you want to use the LinkedIn platform, use LinkedIn person profile, and secondly, use your LinkedIn page. But don't ever start a group. It will just lock you in and you lose everything, like from a moment's notice, if your group is not getting the algorithmic advantages as your LinkedIn profile. Next, we have building an email list, which is my favorite solution, and I highly recommend that you give it a try. You can start completely for free with ConvertKit. If you use my link, timq.co/ConvertKit, you can sign up for a free account. The first 1,000 subscribers are free for life. So as long as you don't grow over 1,000 people, you can use ConvertKit completely for free. And it's an incredible, powerful platform. You can send email newsletter, meaning like once-off email blast, but you also have very powerful automation capabilities, meaning you can do behavior triggers when someone is visiting specific pages, clicks on specific links in your email sequence, and then send them additional content, move them to a different email list, send once-off emails. And of course, if you want to switch to different email marketing software, you can just export all of your data, meaning you're getting a CSV file, and then in most platforms, you can just import this. You just map out the right fields, which is the first name, last name, email address, or any text you might have. and then you can switch over to a different platform and no one can stop you. You could even say, hey, I'm going to shut down my entire email list, and you can use that data, given that you already received permission to email them, and just put it into your Gmail list and send them a once-off email. You own the data. You can be flexible. You can pause your account, move to a different platform, whatever you want. You can fully automate your entire business with email marketing sequences or behavior-based automations. ConvertKit, as an example, also has very cool e-commerce tracking, meaning if you have the right shopping cart software, for example, Shopify or Thrivecart, you can actually track all of the purchases. And then you can also do lead scoring, meaning that you can apply different email sequences to people based on how much they have purchased or buying intention. So you can encourage buyers to become repeat buyers. You can encourage people who haven't purchased anything to buy a low price item, or get someone who has bought more from you to promote some of the higher price items. So it's really, really powerful. Highly recommend this. Check out the link. I'm going to put it also down in the description and into the pinned comment, so it's easy for you to find. And then the last option is to build a paid community. Now, there is plenty of options and we can't possibly do a review of all of them in this short video, but you can have a look. There is Circle, Mighty Network, Tribe, Discourse, Disciple, Hivebright, Kajabi, Discourse, and then we have Envision Community, just to name a few. I'm not sponsored by any one of those, by the way. Those are just some I found very useful based on my own experience or from recommendation from other people. So have a look at them, take a screenshot of this page, and then see if this might be something for you. The biggest benefit basically of a paid community platform is very similar to email marketing. Many of the platforms also have a built-in email marketing functionality. The biggest benefit is that you own the data and that you can reach every person, every member via email blast whenever you want. So this allows you the full flexibility to build a community, and trust me, you definitely need some full-time or part-time moderators to keep any group on any platform thriving. So it's a big commitment and investment that you have to take. But if you want to really build a community, those are your best options, because if you want, you can always move away, take the data with you, import it to a different platform, or move from a community page to an email marketing software. Is really, really powerful. So I think these are some of the best alternatives to LinkedIn groups. Now, if you want to get more infos about how to grow on LinkedIn, you can check out my LinkedIn hashtag guide. It's completely for free. You can download it when you go to my website. There should be a nice pop-up showing up, or I put something in the header bar resources page where you can get your hands on it. It's a 33-page document. You see a little preview over here on the left side. Just enter your name, email address, and you will receive the download link via email. And then if you want to go even further, really build like an entire LinkedIn sales funnel, you can also check out my LinkedIn Accelerator program, where I basically teach you everything there is to know about building a business on LinkedIn from scratch. By now we have over 7 hours of content, and we are constantly updating the program, adding more modules to make it more relevant for all the different changes that are happening on LinkedIn all the time. So make sure that you check it out, timqueen.com/LinkedIn Accelerator program. You can also go to timqueen.com and select the menu item. It's really easy to find. I'm going to put the link in the description to the pinned comment below. And also make sure that if you want to get more videos like this on YouTube, that you hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, smash like if you enjoyed this video and you found something valuable, and let me know in the comments what you want me to talk next. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to talk soon. Bye bye.